Hello and welcome to 2017. It's great to be with you and thanks for watching. In mentioning that it has just turned 2017, my attention goes towards this year and the events that it holds. And whilst I'm not a big fan of predictions, there is a certain energy and a certain quality that this year presents for us. There's a great energy and potential for transformation, increased awareness, increased consciousness throughout humanity. Unfortunately, these things are normally accompanied with events that really push us towards change, get us asking questions about our values, what's important to us, where we're headed as a collective, where the planet is headed. 2016, I see for many people, by looking at social media, wasn't a year that they really liked too much. But I saw it as a wonderful year because it presented us with opportunities to wake up, to gain awareness, to begin a shift towards a more positive, more sustainable way of life for everybody. You see, the nature of change and shifting towards something better is often uncomfortable, awkward, frustrating, abrasive. Change is never intended to be a smooth path because it takes transformation. It's like the caterpillar turning into the butterfly. For the caterpillar to turn into the butterfly, it has to completely liquefy its body and reform it. And I don't know about you, but I think that is most probably an incredibly painful process. And so what's happening now for me with humanity is we are being given many opportunities to engage in this transformational process. Knowing that out the other side, we can be that beautiful butterfly, but we're not there yet. From my perspective, we're in the liquefaction stage where we have to completely deconstruct that which we have been previously. And so this brings me back to what's happening in the world now and what I believe is going to continue to happen in 2017. And that is impetus, energy, and events which promote change. And so we have these events which affect us all that arise and are most often on a global scale, and we have a choice to make. We have a choice to freak out and think that the world is going down the plug hole, or we have the choice to see these events as an opportunity to step up and increase our consciousness, to be the change that we want to see in the world. So replacing what was with something that is better, rather than replacing what was with fear and doubt and a belief that the world is falling apart. Because I assure you, the world is not falling apart. The world is a safer place now than it has ever been. The world as a whole has a greater consciousness now than it ever has had. There is more light coming into this world now. Yes, we still have conflicts. Yes, we still have violence, human rights abuses and such. But the reason that these things are more at the forefront of our minds and our perceptions now is largely to do by the fact that there's more light being shone on darkness. And so when you finally shine light on darkness, it's got nowhere to hide. It's completely visible. And you know, for each of us to see our own darkness, it's a frightening thing. And then for a world to see its own darkness, it can be a frightening thing. But you see, that's just a choice of perception. The real positive out of this is that we are seeing that which we do not prefer, that which we do not desire, And we now have the opportunity to change that into what we do prefer, into what we do desire. The alternative was to keep going how we were going. And that would have meant us just not seeing it. The darkness would have kept operating in the shadows that it had. And it doesn't have that option anymore. So it can look as though everything's falling apart and that outrageous things are happening in the world. But that's just a perception. The truth is that which we would describe as negative has nowhere to hide anymore. It's out in the open. And our challenge is to look at these things, look at this darkness, to own it collectively together in our communities, in our countries, in our world. Own it, and then take action to say that we together are going to shift it, going to transform it into something more positive, something more light-filled. And that is what is happening slowly, but we do have the chance to push that forward. The world is not falling apart. The world is not getting darker. The world is not getting more dangerous. The fact that we are finally seeing the darkness means that we have the chance to perceive it that way, but it's simply not the truth. Things are transforming for the better. Things are becoming more positive. And if we focus on that point, we will only accelerate that process and make things a lot easier for everyone, including ourselves. At this time in my life, I choose as much as possible not to pay attention to the news. The news is really all about fear overall. The human race has got very good at identifying risks, at identifying dangers, at identifying things that cause threats to us. And there's this underlying mentality which keeps us in this mode of wanting to identify the risks, identify the threats. And so the news is a part of this function, telling us what's bad, telling us what's wrong, telling us what's dangerous, because of our instinctual need to be aware of our threats and what's going on around us. But the truth is, we don't really need to react like that anymore. We don't need to pump ourselves full of what's going wrong and what's fearful and what's not working around us. It's time to learn to place our attention upon that which is good, that which is positive, that which we want. It's not that we become completely ignorant to the challenges and the negative things that may be happening around us. I understand that there are things around me and in this world that are not what I prefer and not what I believe are for the highest good and greatest joy for humanity. I know that they're there, but I don't pour my focus into them. I have that understanding and I let it sit. I know what I don't prefer. I know what I don't want to see. I know that these things are happening. But I don't continue to allow myself to be bombarded with images of what I don't prefer. I focus on what I do prefer, on what we can build collectively, on the peace we can have, on the love we can have for each other, on community and cooperation, not conflict. And you see, we have a choice in every moment to focus on conflict or focus on cooperation, to focus on love or to focus on fear, to focus on anger or to focus on peace. There's always a choice, and we make these choices every moment with every single thing we do and see. There's a spectrum of love to fear, and we're always operating within that when it comes to our choices. And our choices will initiate a vibration within ourselves which spirals out into the universe, promoting that which we are. Every one of our own vibrations creates the experience we have around us. And so our choices don't only affect us, they affect everybody at some level. And every one of us is contributing to the overall vibration of humanity and its consciousness. And so coming back to the changes at foot for 2017, know that you have a choice in how you perceive these changes, these events. Are you going to choose to respond with it with anger or love? Fear or love? And you may feel that to respond to events you don't desire in a positive way may feel to you like you're allowing things to happen, allowing what you don't prefer to happen. You're not. What you're doing is allowing things to be as they are without accepting them. You don't need to accept things you perceive as bad or wrong. But there's great benefit in allowing them to be as they are. There's no point resisting what is. So you have this opportunity to allow them to be as they are and then shine love and light into those situations. Because frustration and anger is just going to compound the situation. And it's quite a challenging thing to do. Especially when you witness someone in the media who you believe is making disastrous choices or not working in alignment with the good of humanity. It's very hard then to shine love and light upon that situation. But yet that is the way you can change that situation. By being that enlightened person. By being the change that you want to see in the world. That's what Gandhi said. It sounded a bit cheesy, but that's what Gandhi said. Be the change you want to see in the world. So if you're observing wars on television, conflicts on television, people being hurt in one way or another, and your response is anger, by all means have whatever response you like. I'm not telling you how to feel about it, but understand if your response is anger and then you put the vibration of anger out into the universe, you are contributing to that which you don't want to see. Pray for that situation. Send love to that situation. Imagine that situation being wrapped up in the purest light. Ask for that situation to be transformed. Make your vibration the vibration of positive change, of hope, of goodwill, of love. That is how you will start affecting change in the world. But that's how you can play your own little part. And what that does is that vibration breeds more of what that is in the world. You know the difference between hanging out with someone with a high vibe, lots of joy, happiness in their life, love in their life, how that affects you, as opposed to hanging out with someone that's, always seeing the negative, always has a problem, always views things from the worst possible perspective. And there's no judgment between these two. Each of those people has their journey to play, and their experience is valid, and it's not about judging it. But we understand the difference between the two and the effect it has on us. And so on a greater scale, on the scale of humanity, the same thing happens. If we collectively foster more joy, happiness, understanding, peace among each of us, then that will be the vibration that starts rippling across our consciousness, and people will start to feed off that and become that. So you have a choice this year with all the things that are about to happen to you directly and indirectly, to feel one way or another, to be in love or to be in fear. And I strongly urge you to really focus in on and gain awareness about your reactions to things. Take responsibility for your part in humanity's journey this year. Is your contribution going to be love and positivity in all ways, shapes, and forms? Or is it going to be negativity, anger, frustration? You know, I'm likely to have plenty of moments myself this year where things anger me and frustrate me. But yet I hope to maintain the awareness that I always have that choice, and that even if I find these moments where anger surfaces, that I'll work towards a lighter vibration. Something which is going to actually contribute to my life and the life of others. Something that we prefer. 2017 is a year of possibility. Possibility of great changes. And like I said, caterpillar to butterfly, these changes aren't necessarily going to be comfortable. But we can focus on our attention on creating the best possible outcome. Best possible birthing of something new out of this change. More light is going to be shone on the darkness. But trust that this is not the darkness growing, that this is the darkness being exposed and being vanquished. Even though some of the things that we're about to experience in humanity will not appear positive, it is a step. They are steps in the right direction. They are steps towards a better planet. They are steps towards a better expression of who we are. We're just in that liquefaction stage, that breaking down of the old, that tearing apart of old belief systems, of old frameworks of belief, so that we may, out of the ashes of that deconstruction, so that out of that we may build something better, something more enlightened, something more peaceful, something more loving. And we're all a part of that building, every single one of us in our own way. So I urge you, in the face of what we may perceive as darkness, what we're really seeing is a greater intensity of light. And to connect with that idea, and to see these events that possibly we think we don't prefer as the deconstruction of that which was old and heavy and dense and dark. And know that whatever you put into these experiences and these events is working towards the birth of something new. And what do you want that something new to be? Don't resist what is happening, is my advice. Embrace it. Allow it to be what it is. You don't have to accept that it's okay that these events happen. It's not about accepting it, but it's about allowing it, so that you're not pushing against it, you're not resisting it, because it is what it is. And so from that point, you have the choice to invest in a new vibration, one of love, one of joy. And I've probably repeated myself a few times with this, but it's something worth repeating. It's something worth hammering in to ourselves, that we have a choice in every moment about how we feel about something, and how we feel about something is our contribution to humanity. It's going to rub off on the people around us, and what the people around us feel is going to rub off on us. You know, we are a collective. On a level, we are all connected, we are all one, we are all the same. And because of that fact, our contribution is so important. Because what you do, what you choose, what you decide, what you feel is important to everyone, not just you. There's such a wonderful opportunity I see going forward to really make this transformation work for all of us. Release judgment. Release the need to accuse others. Release the need to blame others. Take full responsibility as being part of this collective and say, yes, I'm ready to help. us change things for the better. It was nice connecting with you again. All the best for what is going to be a very exciting year for everyone. But again, you have a choice to perceive it that way or not. But we are all safe. We're not put on this planet to struggle, to suffer. We are put on here to grow, to transform, to build something better. And that is always the opportunity that underlies every event that happens. Take care. Blessings to all. See you next time.